Hello and welcome to Season 6 of the Rei Sportscar Championship, and this is the first race of round 1 here at Nurburgring GP. We've got a 20 lap race ahead of us, so let's just go through the starting grids. Now this grid is pretty much based off the previous season's results, and in first place we got Cyberstrike. Now he had some good races near the end of the last season and he'll hope to continue on that in his Patronus livery. In second place we've got Eulanger, had quite a bit of misfortune last season but certainly one to look out for here today. In third place we have Charlie Fraser, he'll be starting on the soft compound. Meanwhile Samios in his GTR is fourth. Then we've got Mako in his Marlborough livery. Alex Sinclair in 6th, Scanny Flick is in 7th, in 8th place we've got Brothers V, and then our championship winner, Season 5, is Sig Rezanico. He will start 9th, and then at the back we've got Frank Jr., who opted to start near the back of the grid. And then we've got two debutants. We've got Robert here in his Ray-Bans livery, he'll start there just ahead of Noki, who's another debutant. And then rounding out the field is Pix Tecker, he has opted to start at the back of the field. So in this 20 lap race, the tyres available are the soft tyres and the medium tyres. However, the only mandatory tyre is the medium tyre. Now, all drivers must make one pit stop, but considering the tyres are not going to last 20 laps anyway, that's not going to be too much of a problem for these drivers. And we are away here at Nurburgring GP. It's a good start from Cyberstrike from that rolling start. And as we go into this tricky turn 1, we will see if anyone can make good deep move. And oh, Stefan Eulanger there going for that deep move, but I think he's gone too deep and that might allow Charlie Fraser through. It does. Mako there in 4th place, but side by side is Samios, and Samios makes a great move there on the inside. So I think Mako messed up turn 1 a bit and he might lose another position. Alex there hitting the side of Samios. He drops down to, well, he's actually managed to still get ahead of Mako, so that's great for him. Meanwhile Scanny Flick there, he's looking very aggressive in his motor livery, as his Brothers V. Brothers V is also on soft tyres, similar to Charlie Fraser and Cyberstrike, so he's looking to make up ground very quickly. We've got some side-by-side racing here further back. Eulanger gets back ahead of Charlie Fraser after his mistake at turn 1. And Maka going around the outside of Alex Sinclair there at the hairpin. That's a great move. Further back, and Charlie's actually trying to make the move back on Eulanger, and Eulanger run wide. Where's Charlie gone? Charlie has lost control on the curb. He's on the grass, and it's now 3 wide as we got the Honda, the Nissan, and the Lexus there, all battling it out. Brothers now into 5th place, but Alex will be looking to regain that position. Oh, and there's a problem there with Noki, that is, and oh, contact, and that's sending Mako spinning around there. That's really unfortunate. We'll catch a Wolf Cola sponsored replay. So to go on board with Mako, we can see that there's a problem for Noki, a technical problem, car uncontrollable. And as we just look further back, we can see that Brothers V has been caught out. Mako unfortunate there to get sent down to 9th place, he loses 5 positions. As we quickly go further back, we've got Frank Jr. there rounding out the top 10. We've got Robert holding on to 11th with Pix Tecker in 12th, and then we have a retirement Noki. That's a unlucky start to his season. We've got Samios making good ground, trying to go around the outside of Eulanger. Can he cannot make it work. Meanwhile, I think that was Alex Sinclair getting very loose at turn 1. We've got Sig Rezanico in 6th, Charlie in 7th, and Mako in 8th after their incidents. The top 3 currently are Cyberstrike, Eulanger, and Samios, but that might change because Brothers V's right on the, well, it's right on the inside now, going into turn 5. And Samios there going around the outside still, and Brothers almost ends up in the gravel. Sammy holds on to 3rd, and Sig has just moved into 5th place, and Alex might fall down to 7th here. We've got Charlie on the inside. Charlie unable to get the pass, but Bradley there with a bit of argy-bargy getting into third place. And that might allow Sigras and Nico to get a move, so he's in 5th place. But that could soon be 4th. We can see him really hounding the back of Sammy Austin. He goes to the inside, but Sammy's not falling for that dummy move. Ooh, and slightly on the grass here, so Sig really trying to get past the American, but because of the little bit of tyre on the grass, he's now on the inside of the chicane, and that's a very clean move there from the Italian. Charlie's now looking to follow suit. He gets very loose on the exit curve though, and Alex might have a perfect opportunity. They almost go 3 wide. Charlie's trying to stick it around the outside, but gets a little bit too wide onto the curb. And now he has to try and go into the slipstream into turn 1. Meanwhile, Alex and Claire, you can see now on the inside after Charlie ran wide. And Alex brakes late. Is it late enough? I don't think it is, no. But Charlie makes the move on Sammy. There's a bit of contact at the exit of the turn. Nothing untoward. Meanwhile, we've actually had a move slightly further up front. So yes, while that amazing battle there was happening for 5th, we had just enough room given there from Ulanger. That's amazing driving from both of those drivers. Brad is into 2nd on his soft tyres. Ulanger is on mediums, so that overtake was certainly to be expected. We'll just go on board with our previous season's champion. So he started in 9th place, and he doesn't have to use the soft tyres as the medium is the only mandatory tyre, and you can see the 3 cars up ahead, and we've actually got a move potentially for the lead. And well, Cyber tried to defend, but Brad had just enough of an overlap and made a late braking manoeuvre. And we got amazing battling here for 6th, 7th and 8th. We got Semios, Alex and Mako. Sammy is known for his strong defensive driving, as is Alex. So both of these may know how to defend, but will Alex know how to overtake? Just further up front, we've got Signa moving into the podium spots, or is he? Because Ulanger is doing an amazing job on the inside, but bit of contact, and that almost sent Ulanger onto the grass. Sig almost lost control, but Sig moves into 3rd place. And what's happened? No, that's fine. So Charlie's in his own little world in 5th place, and then we've got Alex, Sammy and Mako here, 6th, 7th and 8th. So let's just see the move that Alex has pulled off here. So it seems like he does know how to attack other drivers as well as defend. That's a really good move, and Sammy gives just the perfect amount of room on the exit for Alex to regain that position. Now what has happened to Scannyflick? Scannyflick's in 9th. He's had a bit of a quiet race so far actually. Mako going down the inside of Sammy, and where's Sammy gone? Oh, so Sammy went further towards the outside, and Mako goes into 8th, and now Scanny's on the outside. Oh, and that's Alex. I did not see that coming. So is this contact, or has Alex just lost it? Alex has just lost the rear of the car. He's over accelerated there in 1st gear. He drops down to 10th place. Mako into 6th after getting by Sammy. Scanny in 8th, and Frank Jr. right near the end of this battle in 9th place. As we go further up front, we got Sig has now caught up the back of the Petronas Lexus. He's already made a couple of good moves to the chicane. Will he have to wait for the chicane with Cyrus Rifle? Will he be able to get by the Brit earlier on in the lap? Oh, we've got a car spinning in the back. it's our debutant Rob here. He drops down behind Pix Tecker. That's unfortunate for him. Sigresniga going on the outside there, that will not work. However, he does get an amazing exit from that turn. He's now going to go to what will eventually become the inside for the chicane. This is where he's already made 2 moves. Will he make it free? He does. He breaks a bit late. Sorry, a bit later than his rival. That's our reigning champion in the 2nd place. In the battling that's commenced, we've now got Charlie Fraser, who's now caught up the back of Yulanger. Charlie is on soft tyres. You can see that his tyres are a little bit worn, but they're still not too bad as we go on to lap 5. Tries to go around the outside. That might work with his extra grip, but no, that's amazingly defended there from the Irish driver. Just going further back, and we can see that Mako's now on his own. He's got away here from Sammy and Scanny. And I think Frank might have made a mistake because he's fallen slightly from the pack. And let's catch that amazing move, it seems, from Charlie. So Charlie, and actually no, both of them got past Cyber. So Cyber's now in 5th place. Charlie going around the outside of Cyberstrike. Stefan Yulanger, that is now in 3rd place. Ooh, and that's a lot of oversteer at the exit of the turn there for the Lexus driver. And where has Scanning got past Sammy? These two have had a lot of good battles in the previous season, and here is another one. Sammy having to back out of it before the Schumacher S. Scanning on his medium tyres, backing out a little bit there. Some drivers are doing it full throttle, some are being a little bit careful, and especially as tyre wear comes into play in dirty air, you really do have to think about how fast you can go through the uphill chicane. So just a quick rundown of the field. So currently in 1st place, setting the fastest lap of a 48.0 is Brothers V, but he is on soft tyres and he is yet to use the mandatory medium compound. In 2nd place, just a few seconds behind, is Sigres and Eco. He is on mediums. He'll likely go on to, well, he has to make another pit stop because every driver has to make at least 1 pit stop in these races. Will he go on to another set of mediums, or will he go on to the faster soft compound near the end of this race? Yulanger and Charlie Fraser are battling out for the final podium place as it stands. Charlie is on the soft compound though. So his tyres are going to wear out quicker than those of Yulanger. Charlie going to the inside. He backs out of it. Yulanger almost ended up off the track. And and that's not what Cyberstrike would have wanted. Unlucky for some 13ers as he drops to 6th behind Mr. Mako. Charlie's really pushing those soft tyres as the wrist steps out of him at the chicane. And Cyberstrike's lost it again. He's down to 9th. Frank Jr., Sammy, both of them gain ground, but not as far down as Alex Sinclair, but that is because Alex Sinclair has actually made a pit stop, I think. He has gone from the medium compound onto the soft tyres very early. He made the pit stop on lap 4, so he's actually going for an undercut on a lot of these drivers, such as Mako, Scanny, Frank and Cyberstrike. As we go further up, has Charlie lost ground? He's lost a little bit of ground as they're not side by side anymore. But you can see that his front tyres especially are extremely worn, so he might make an early pit stop, but He's got a really good run out of that corner compared to Ulanger, might be able to make an overtake into turn 1. But that's heavy defence from Ulanger. Charlie, can he go around the outside? It didn't work for him last time. It doesn't work for him this time, but he cuts back, goes the outside for turn 2, and he might be able to get the move on the inside for turn 3 and 4, and that is amazing driving there from Charlie Fraser. But Ulanger's still looking to recover that position, but it is not going to work out. Charlie moves into 3rd. But as I pointed out, his tyres are getting quite worn. He will have to pit pretty soon, and then he's going to have to do a long stint on mediums or maybe even a 2-stop. So it's not over yet for Ulanger. Mako, after the incident with Brothers V near the start, he's made his way back up to 5th place. He lost about 8 to 10 seconds, I believe, with that spin. Probably around 8 seconds in lap time, but then with this extra battling with Sammy and Scanny, probably lost a bit more time there. Scanny's now trying to pull away from Sammy. Both of those on medium tyres. Frank has had a pretty clean race so far. He's in 8th place, and then Cyberstrike is in 9th after those 2 unfortunate spins. Closely followed by Alex Sinclair, who's setting some really good lap times on those fresh soft tyres. And then we've got Pixteca in 11th, he's on medium tyres, and then we've got Robert in 12th. So, Charlie's gone over the curbs quite a bit there, lost some ground, but he enters the pit lane. So we'll see what tyres he goes on to soon, but as we just go towards the midfield, we can see that Sammy's having to. Sammy's got by Scanny there. We gotta see what's happened here. So we've had to go about 20-30 seconds back, but we can see that Scanny, has he just run wide? Yeah. Well, Sammy's just got an amazing run through the chicane, gone on the inside for this back straight, and as we get this very nice dynamic camera angle, we can see that Sammy here making a move on the outside, it seems. That is superb racing with both of those drivers. So as we cut back here to live footage, we can see that Scanny's actually struggling there and might not be able to regain the move into turn 1. Regain the position into turn 1, apologies. Now, regarding Charlie Fraser, who's just pitted, let's see where he's come out. He comes out 8th and he's on soft tyres, so he is 100% going for a 2-stop. He has yet to use medium compound, but he is ahead, crucially, of Alex Sinclair, who is one of the other drivers to have made a pit stop. Mako has now caught up to the rear of Ulanger. And let's just go on board with him as we approach the hairpin. We can see that Mako's medium tyres are actually quite heavily worn, especially compared to some other drivers. Tyre wear probably isn't his strongest suit, but he has got incredible one-lap pace. Further back, and what's happened to Charlie Fraser? He's lost control. He just rejoined ahead of Alex Sinclair, but just completely on his own. He's had a spectacular incident. That is spectacular, not in the way that he would have wanted. But he is now in 10th place and on dirty tyres, but they will clean over the next couple of turns. Meanwhile, Alex actually got by Cyberstrike. Sorry for missing that. Mako in 4th place, unable to overtake Ulanger, at least not yet. But Ulanger's made a mistake, I think, at the chicane, and this is a great opportunity for the Hungarian driver. Tap the rear of Ulanger slightly, telling him to hurry up, essentially. We've got yellow flags. I think that might be for a lap car. And yeah, there we can see the lap car. That is Rob in his Ray Band's livery. He just is on the side and lets those two drivers by. Further back, we got Samuels into 5th place. He's actually stayed ahead of Scani after that overtake earlier. Oh, and that was, sorry for cutting away there, but Robert was sideways across the track. He had spun in the same place that Charlie Fraser had done. Frank has had still continues to have a clean race. He's in 7th. Alex in 8th place. He's at the first of the runners who has pitted. Charlie disappointingly behind him. Oh, and Cyberstrike taking the sort of the alternative route through turn 3 and turn 4. Pixtag from 11th, he's just starting his 9th lap. He's still yet to pit. And then we can see Robert a lap down. Meanwhile, Brothers V is actually going for a pit stop, and there was some racing with Sig possibly. Yeah, so they were actually side by side. Sig had caught up Brothers V. So we were saying about how Mako's tyres were quite worn, and we just compare them to Sig Res and Eco later on. His tyres are in much better shape, they're in the same car, and due to his tyre conservation, he'd actually caught up Brothers V on his incredibly worn soft tyres. So you can see the fronts there for the Sekiro sponsored car. Really bad, but fortunately his pit crew take them off very quickly. Where will he rejoin? Will he be ahead of Alex Sinclair? He is ahead. He's actually just slots in behind Mako and Ulunga. We can see Sammy here trying to defend from Scani Flick for 5th and 6th still. Cybertruck is on new medium tyres. He did have a few poor laps though before that pit stop, and since that pit stop, so it's just gone from bad to worse after starting on pole position. So Mako here is on extremely warm mediums. Brad has just come out of the pits on very warm and fresh mediums. Is Mako going to defend? No, he stays the outside. That's possibly quite sensible, as it doesn't slow him up too much. Currently they're in kind of separate races after Brothers V's pitted way earlier than Mako. Our race leader Sig has yet to pit. He's just crossing the line now to start his 11th lap, so he's doing a very long stint on mediums. Will these drivers, Ulunga, Mako, will they pit now? Ulunga stays out, so he's doing a long stint on mediums, but Mako already comes into the pit, so he probably will do another 10 lap stint on mediums, because I don't believe he could last 10 laps on soft tyres. Sammy in 5th, Scani in 6th, and Scani, he's quite close this lap actually. Oh, and we've got Alex there almost overtaking Frank Jr. We'll catch that up later. But Scani just cannot find a way through. And Alex getting a good move on Frank Jr. Frank Jr. just about controlling his car. Charlie Fraser in 8th, and then Mako after his pit stop is in 9th place, and yeah, he's on another set of mediums. Mediums being the only mandatory tyre for this round. And we've had a bit more racing. So let's just see here. So Ulunga on worn medium, similar to Mako, so I think this is a pretty simple overtake. Yeah, nothing too spectacular there. I think Ulunga pretty much letting him through due to the differences in their strategies currently. So Brothers may have overtaken him now, but Ulunga, he will make a pit stop soon, and then he might go onto the soft tyres, and on the soft tyres he might be able to catch down the British driver. Samios on the grass. And into the gravel he goes, and that's Scanny. He's been very patient, and his patience is rewarded with 4th place. Sammy falls down to 5th. Alex, in his very, very, very bright livery, catching him up. But you can see that Alex's soft tyres are already very worn. He's been on them for about 6 or 7 laps. And Charlie getting through on Frank Jr. there at the chicane. Amazing manoeuvre in the Schumacher S. Not a place to expect an overtake. Now, Sammy's tyres are holding up very well, as were Sigur's and Nico, but he comes into the pit on lap 11 now. There are 9 laps remaining. Will he go on to mediums again, or will he actually try and go onto the softs? The same question can be asked of Ulanger, who pits. And we can see, now where's Brothers V? Brothers V just goes around the outside in turn 1, and we can see that Sig is on the soft tyres. So this is probably the battle for the win now, with 9 laps remaining. So Sig has rejoined in 2nd place, but is on the faster compounded tyres. So he's going to be probably about 1.5 seconds quicker than Brothers V. Although this certainly is not an easy track to overtake on. There aren't many long straights. There's a lot of fast corners for which dirty air makes it very difficult to continue in the path of another car. Further back we got Scanny Flickers yet to pit. I mean, well, Alex Sinclair and Charlie Fraser are now pretty close together. Ulanger has actually rejoined behind Mako, so that's actually a surprising result. So Mako pitting earlier has allowed him to leapfrog Ulanger. Samios has pitted and he's onto soft tyres for the remaining few laps. He's in 8th place. Frank has pitted, he's on fresh mediums. Cyberstrike in 10th, Pix in 11th, and Rob in 12th. But as we go towards the lead, we've got Sig on the back of Brothers V, pressuring him. Will Brothers V crack like an egg? He defends on the inside. That's going to mean he'll get a terrible run out of the chicane. You can see there the front of Sig's car coming into shot. Oh, and that's a defensive move from Brothers, and yet again that allows Sig to catch up here as we go into turn 1. Brothers making another defensive move. That's 3 in 3 turns. Sig around the outside. It's quite hard to make a move around the outside. I think we have seen it before, but we've also seen it not work out too well. He brakes very late, and Sig actually goes around the outside. Fantastic move from the Italian, and cuts back on the inside of turn 2, crucially to take the lead here at Nurburgring GP. So those fresher tyres mixed with amazing skill allows Sig to take the lead here, and he pretty much continues from where he left off from last season. We go further back and Alex Sinclair is in 3rd place, but he definitely has to pit again. I do not expect him to do 7 more laps on soft tyres. He pitted on lap 4. Charlie Fraser has to pit again because he has yet to use the medium compound, which is the mandatory tyre. Meanwhile, Mako has used mediums. He's on his 2nd batch of the medium compound. So Mako's actually looking pretty good here for 3rd place, and Ulanger's looking pretty good for 4th. Now for 5th place, well, it could be Alex, it could be Charlie, it could potentially be Scanny and Sammy. We got a 4-car scrap, I think, for 5th place once the pit stops are over and done with. So we have a 8-round season ahead of us. We've got some fantastic tracks coming up. We've got the Autopolis circuit in Japan. We've also got races around Brands Hatch, Suzuka, Circuit de la Sarthe, and many more. We've got some sprint races, some endurance races. And we see amazing racing in all of them, and we've actually got 4 cars here in one shot almost. But there they are, there's the 4 cars. But we might see 2 of these come into the pits as Alex goes towards the inside, but Charlie stays on the track. So Alex there will go on to another set of softs for a 2-stop strategy. Charlie needs to use the medium tyres though. So a little dummy move from Mako, but it did not work out, I think. But Charlie ran very wide through turn 1, and that stopped him regaining the racing line for turn 2, which has allowed Mako to pressure the back of him, and I think the pressure is correct slightly because Mako goes around the outside at turn 4. Superb racing from both of them. That's Mako into third place and into the podium places. So after the terrible first lap for Mako, after being hit by Bradesvey, he now moves into third place. He's approximately 18 seconds behind the second place driver. Ulanger might be able to make a move on Charlie Fraser soon as well. He's on soft compound. Because he's on the soft compound, he might be able to catch up to Mako, who's on the mediums. We've got Pixtecker getting out of the way there as he's a lap down. We've got Sammy, and crucially we've got Alex Sinclair. So I was pointing out that we could have a four car scrap for 5th place, and here is one of those cars catching up Scanny and Sammy. The other driver that I expect to be involved in that is Charlie Fraser, although he might fall back as he will have to use the medium compound. Jumping over the curbs and then sliding into the pit lane. That moves Ulanger into 4th place. So it's a pretty good start to the season for Ulanger. Certainly showing that he does have pace and he might be able to make this a 3rd place finish. Now we're just going to go slightly further back because I'm curious where Charlie Fraser is going to come out in relation to Scanny, Sammy and Alex. It's a shame that Alex isn't run with the other 2. So Charlie's yet to be seen. There he is in the background, but he rejoins at the back of this 4-car battle. He's on fresh mediums, which he has to use. But Alex is on fresh softs, so will surely pull away and leave Charlie to eat his dust. One driver we haven't really looked at in the last couple of laps is Sig, and we haven't looked at him because his pace has been so phenomenal that he's just alone now. He's about 10 seconds ahead now after the turn 1 overtake, and he's at a fastest lap of 46.3, which is an exceptionally fast time on the soft tyres. Cyberstrike, after his misfortune earlier, he's in 10th place, but is still a potential points paying position. We've also got Pixtecker in 11th and Rob in 12th. He's just pitting from medium tyres. So as we go on to this battle here for 3rd place, we can see that Ulanger set in some good lap times, although I think this... So this is actually a 50... Mako's doing a 48.6, so actually Mako probably will be able to hold on to the podium. So Alex has done a 2-stop strategy, which is a little bit unconventional, but it does mean he's got much faster tyres here in these final 4-5 laps. Sammy's feeling the pressure, goes a bit wide here at turn 3, he's on the inside for turn 4, and Alex has to drop a little bit back. He runs quite wide though, but Sammy keeps 6th place for now. And also the longer that Sammy holds with Alex, then that means the less likely it is that Alex can battle with Scanny. So Sammy's actually helping Scanny quite a bit here. There were fierce rivals at Fuji Speedway last season, and Alex gets into 6th place. I thought he was going to run wide, but it was excellent braking there from the Irish driver. And what has happened to Eulanger? Oh, he's lost it in the same place that Charlie Fraser lost it earlier on today. And he's lost a lot of time because of how long it takes to just sludge through that gravel trap. So there's no chance now, I'd say, of Mako losing his third place. What it does mean, however, is Scani is now only 5 seconds behind Eulanger, and he's been caught up by Alex Sinclair. So what was a battle for 5th is now a battle for 4th place. That's a very defensive line from Alex. I don't know if he was paranoid about Sammy, but Sammy wasn't making a move, and Alex probably cost himself a little bit of time in the hunt for 5th place here. And you can see that Sammy's actually doing an excellent job holding onto the rear of his car, even though Sammy is on much more worn soft tyres. I might have incorrectly said he was on mediums earlier, I cannot remember, but he's on soft tyres, but he pitted before Alex Sinclair, and he's doing a 9-lap stint on those softs. Another driver that's doing a 9-lap stint on soft tyres is Sigras Nikos. Let's just compare their tyre wear, and actually their tyre wear is pretty similar. They're in different cars, but the front and rear tyre wear for both is pretty similar, so both of those are conserving their tyres excellently. And it seems that since Alex got past Sammy, his progress towards 4th or 5th place has faltered slightly. Scani, also on soft tyres, actually setting some pretty good lap times. 49.1 and a 49.2 the last previous lap, so he's been quite consistent. He pitted 1 lap after Sammy, but he has pitted earlier than Alex Sinclair. A 49.6 for Scani, and if we just compare that, it's a 49.2, so only 4/10 gained. I don't think that's enough for a change of position here. Now, anything can happen though. I mean, we saw the battle for 3rd disintegrate as Eulanger made that mistake. So who knows, maybe Mako can make a mistake and suddenly we got a battle for 3rd, or maybe we can see mistakes from Eulanger, Scani, Alex or Sammy. Meanwhile, up front, the lead is now up to a whopping 18 seconds between Sig and Brothers V. Brothers V is on medium tyres and his front tyres are heavily worn, so he's scrubbing those a bit too much. He's doing 1 minute 50s, meanwhile Sig is doing 1 minute 47s or 1 minute 46s. Sig there going on to the penultimate lap of the race. Eulanger is in 4th place, so after his spin though, he seems pretty cool and collected. So I think that 4th place is his for the taking. And we can see Scani in 5th, Alex in 6th and Sammy in 7th. Further back, about a corner back, is Charlie Fraser. He could have been ahead of this group if it wasn't for the spin at turn 4 and 5. So you have some fantastic liveries for you today, and later on in the season we have themed livery weeks. So one of the races this season is at Monza, so the liveries for that must be Italian Pride themed. I don't know what there is to be proud about with Italy, but these drivers will think of something when recreating their liveries. Alex missing the apex in turn 4, although he is actually catching Scaniflick, so Scaniflick yet again dropping 3 to 4 tenths from Alex Sinclair, but I but with just 1.5 laps to go, that might not be enough for an overtake to be had. As we just go further back in the field, we've got Frank in 9th place, we've got Cyber, he's in 10th place, he's just on soft tyres currently. Pix Tecker is on soft tyres, they're slightly worn, his best lap is a 52.2, and Rob, he is rounding out the field in 12th. So one crucial aspect of Nurburgring GP is how you use the curbs. You want to use the curves, but if you use them too much, the rear of your car can just slide away and you can end up in the wall. So it's a risk-reward system, and that's almost the risk not paying off there for Mako, but he controls it as he approaches his final lap of the race. The battle for 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. Well, Alex is actually closing on Scani, so Scani's doing a 50.3, and Alex getting 7/10 on that lap. Looks like they also have a back marker to contend with, as I did see some blue flags around the place. I'm just going to check where the leader is. So Sigurez and Nico just approaching the final few corners of the race. He's had an excellent stint on these soft tyres. He got past Brothers V. He made some amazing moves into the final chicane in the first half of the race. It's a very well-deserved win, unless he messes it up here at the end. So after this race, we got another 20-lap race, this time with a reverse grid of this race result. So Sigurd was starting at the back. And here he is, crossing the line as he goes around the final turn. An excellent win for him, and the way he would have wanted to start off his championship campaign. In second place will be Brothers V. Maybe a little bit disappointed to be 20 seconds up the road. He led for about 8 laps in the middle of the race after using the soft tyres early on. And then further back we got Mako, who has made good progress after being hit on lap 1. But I just want to go back to this battle for 4th, 5th and 6th. So it seems as if Scani's lost a little bit of time with the back marker. He's trying to defend into the chicane. Alex makes the move, and it's no. Alex cannot make it, but there's still 1 to go. We got Mako goes across the line in 3rd. Yilanga is crossing the line in 4th as we speak. We'll get to him soon. But Scani holds on to 5th, it seems. So there's Yilanga, an excellent result for him in 4th. His tyres were very heavily worn at the end though. Scani holds on to 5th from Alex Sinclair, who's in 6th. Sammy is in 7th. He had a pretty clean race. 8th is Charlie Fraser. And then 9th will cross the line is Frank Jr. Cyber will cross the line in 10th. And then at least a lap down is Pix Tecker in 11th, so that's out of the points for him. And then on his debut is 12th for Rob. So this has been race 1 of the Rei Sportscar Championship Season 6 here at Nurburgring GP. Join us for race 2, where we'll see more fantastic racing